Welcome to This Week in Astrology. This is episode number 622 for March 16 through 31, 2023. 2023's most important astrological event, Pluto entering Aquarius, highlights the second half of March. We also have a supercharged Aries New Moon, the Spring Equinox chart, and much more. This episode is sponsored by my book, the #1 Amazon bestseller called Instant Divine Assistance, your complete guide to fast and easy spiritual awakening, healing, and more. Just go to Amazon and search for Instant Divine Assistance or click the link in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host, Benjamin Bernstein. I record these forecasts as an audio podcast and a video, so take your pick. The video version includes detailed chart graphics, which you can also see in my written forecasts at astroshaman.com. Be sure to subscribe to This Week in Astrology wherever you get it. And if you haven't already, be sure to click the link in the show notes for 2 chances to win a free Astrology Plus session with me each month. So as of March 16th, the moon is waxing. There was a Virgo full moon on March 7th, and there are no retrograde planets or existing aspect patterns. On Thursday, March 16th, perseverance and trauma healing are supported for more than a month by a grand trine with Mars, Saturn, and the South Node. This harmonious aspect pattern starts today on March 16th, peaks on April 1st, and ends on April 21st. Mars and Saturn create an Energizer Bunny dynamic. Mars provides the raw energy, while Saturn systematically parcels it out for maximum productivity. The South Node can help you activate past life gifts and talents, and its placement in Scorpio can add plenty of power to the proceedings. Both the South Node and Scorpio are associated with unhealed wounds and traumas. Mars in Cancer can energize the processing of challenging emotions. Saturn can give you the discipline and focus to hold steady during your healing process, while Pisces encourages you to delegate this healing to your inner divine power. To learn how to do this quickly and easily, check out my free healing invocation. There's a link in the show notes, or just go to astroshaman.com, look on the menu bar. The last word is Instant Divine Assistance. Clicking that will take you where you need to go. This grand trine can also help you activate the upside potentials of Saturn in Pisces. These include law of attraction work, embodied awakening, and manifesting your inspired creativity into tangible form. Mars in Cancer can energize you and add emotional excitement, while the South Node in Scorpio can empower both your latent and previously developed gifts and talents. Now we're going to cover Wednesday, March 15, all the way through Monday, March 20th. This is a busy 5 days for the Sun and Mercury, teaming up in the final degrees of Pisces. They not only conjoin each other, but also aspect Neptune, Mars, and Pluto. The Sun and Mercury's presence in Pisces and their Neptune conjunctions highlight the 12th astrological archetype. This makes it easier to attain deep spiritual states, open to inspired creativity, and operate in the zone. This Pisces-Neptune energy is also great for working with dreams and inner journeying. Mars energizes all this thanks to its squares with the Sun and Mercury. The fact that Mars is in Gemini, the same archetypal energy as Mercury, boosts your ability to learn and share information. It can also help you be more playful and enjoy more variety. Even more energy for all the above is available thanks to Pluto's sextiles to the Sun and Mercury. If you want additional wealth or power, Pluto can help you manifest it. Here's a quick list of all those aspects. On March 15, the Sun conjunct Neptune at 25 Pisces. I'm rounding everything here to the nearest degree. March 16, Mercury conjunct Neptune at 25 Pisces. March 16, Sun square Mars. Sun is 26 Pisces, Mars is 26 Gemini. March 17, Mercury square Mars. Mercury is 26 Pisces, Mars is 26 Gemini. Also on March 17, Sun and Mercury are conjunct at 27 Pisces. March 18, Mercury sextile Pluto. Mercury 29 degrees, 55 minutes Pisces, Pluto the same degree of Capricorn. And March 20th, Sun sextile Pluto. Sun is at 29 degrees, 57 degrees Pisces, Pluto the same degree of Capricorn. That was a lot. Now, we also next have a 2-day. I'm doing March 16 and 17, Thursday and Friday together. It's impressive that the Sun and Mercury have 7 aspects, but Venus has 2 noteworthy mid-March aspects of her own. There's a Venus-Pluto square on March 16. That's Venus 29 degrees 52 minutes Aries, Pluto the same degrees of Capricorn, and a Venus-Saturn sextile. Now Venus is at 1 degree Taurus, Saturn 1 degree Pisces. That's on March 17. In combination, these two Venus aspects strongly energize relationships, creativity, and finances. If you experience relationship challenge, remember that Venus is in Taurus, astrology's most stable and grounded sign. Take a breath and feel the solid earth under your feet. It can also help to have a proven tool for harmoniously healing relationship conflict, such as Marshall Rosenberg's nonviolent communication system. I have a link to that in the show notes. Not only could you get a creativity boost from the Pluto square, but the Saturn sextile can help you enjoy strong artistic productivity. There are also auspicious financial possibilities. Venus is dignified in Taurus. That means she rules that sign. Taurus is the sign of money. Pluto represents wealth. On Monday, March 20th, the Sun enters Aries at 5:24 p.m. EDT, heralding the arrival of the Spring Equinox. Its chart, potently energized by 4 aspect patterns, gives a sense of the overall energy the world will experience for at least the next 3 months. Being the start of the astrological new year, the Sun's entry into Aries is great for starting new things and reinvigorating old ones. Aries energy is ideal for acting as a pioneer, warrior, entrepreneur, or sexual being. As I just mentioned, the spring equinox chart contains 4 potent aspect patterns. Number 1, a grand trine with Mars, Saturn, and the South Node harmoniously supports perseverance, trauma healing, law of attraction work, embodied awakening, and manifesting your inspired creativity. If this sounds familiar, I already talked about this a moment ago in my March 16 grand trine interpretation. Second, a T-square with the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Ceres, and Neptune energizes lots of life-affirming opportunities. I'll discuss this a bit later in this episode in my March 21st New Moon interpretation. Number 3 aspect pattern, triple conjunction with Vesta, Jupiter, and Chiron. If we consider just Jupiter and Chiron in Aries, 5 key themes emerge: wisdom, trauma healing, amplified assertiveness, sexual trauma, and sexual upside opportunities. I discussed these in my March 12th interpretation of Jupiter conjunct Chiron. You can click the link in the show notes to learn more. I covered that in last week's podcast, and the link will go to my written forecast at astroshaman.com. If we also consider Vesta, this triple conjunction amplifies the opportunity to share your wisdom or healing abilities in service of the greater good. If you're not ready yet, it supports starting or continuing your training so you can do so later. And the 4th aspect pattern, there's another T-square. Do your relationships support your life purpose? That's the main question posed by this T-square with Venus, Juno, Pluto, and the lunar nodes. Venus represents all your important relationships, Juno represents committed partnerships, and the lunar nodes represent life purpose. The tight triple conjunction of Venus, Juno, and the North Node puts massive emphasis on connecting with the people who help you move toward your life purpose. Pluto makes moderately strong squares to everything else in this T-square. Part of his job is to stir up challenge in relationships that need repair or release. But he's equally happy to bless highest good relationships with power and wealth, which can be whatever you value. A well-known instigator of shadow work, Pluto can also use even the most wonderful relationships to trigger old wounds so you can finally heal them once and for all. This T-square also has great financial upside, especially if you're earning money in a way that aligns with your life purpose. Look for partnership opportunities here with a business associate, customers, or clients. Then on Tuesday, March 21st, a new moon lines up at 1:23 p.m. EDT at 0 degrees 49 minutes Aries. This happens less than 24 hours after the spring equinox. This Aries new moon is supercharged by powerful aspects from all 3 outer planets, plus several others. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For starters, any Aries new moon is great for new beginnings or fresh energy as a warrior, pioneer, entrepreneur, or sexual being. More broadly, Aries, the first zodiacal sign, is great for any new beginning at all. Aspects. This new moon aspects 7 other planets. 4 of them are part of a T-square. The Sun and Moon form a T-square with Mercury, Mars, Ceres, and Neptune. Yes, this is the one I was mentioning in the Spring Equinox forecast. Let's start with the moderately strong conjunctions that bracket the luminaries. Mercury is about 4 degrees away in Aries. This will boost your enthusiasm for learning or sharing information. Neptune in Pisces conjoins the luminaries from the other side. This can help fire you up about spiritual practices, expressing your inspired creativity, and staying in flow state more consistently. It can also help you work with dreams and visionary states. Mars in Gemini makes a right angle, a square, to all these planets. Mars carries the same archetypal energy as Aries, which further empowers that sign's energies. It's also noteworthy that Mercury and Mars are in mutual reception. This means that they're in signs ruled by each other. Mars is in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is in Aries, ruled by Mars. This potently energizes learning and communication and urges you to take bold initiative to do so. The only remaining member of the T-square is Ceres. She represents trauma healing, so have a good shadow work technique, such as my free healing invocation, ready. There's a link to that in the show notes. Being the grain goddess, she also represents harvest and abundance, so feel free to build some increased prosperity into your new moon plans. Other aspects. This new moon conjoins Neptune, but also aspects the other two outer planets. A tight sextile from Pluto strengthens Ceres' themes of shadow work and abundance. This strong and harmonious aspect can also give you extra power to accomplish your new moon goals. A tight semi-square from Uranus encourages you to embody your authentic human self and follow your intuitive hits. While you're at it, serve others using your special gifts and talents that you most love to use. This new moon's final aspect is a tight semi-sextile from Saturn in Pisces. This can empower your law of attraction manifestation work and help you maintain embodied awakening more easily. On Thursday, March 23rd, the biggest astrological event of 2023, Pluto entering Aquarius, happens at 8:23 a.m. EDT. Pluto will spend about 20 years in Aquarius and will profoundly influence the next 2 decades. But Pluto will not settle fully into Aquarius right away. On June 11th, he'll retrograde back into Capricorn for 7 months, then return to Aquarius January 20 of 2024 through August 31st of 2024. Then Pluto will retrograde into Capricorn one last time for 2.5 months before locking into Aquarius for 18.5 years, November 19, 2024 through March 8th of 2043. Aquarius and Uranus both transmit the energy of the 11th astrological archetype. For about the first 10 years of Pluto's time in Aquarius, Pluto and Uranus connect by trine or sesquare aspects. This makes the Pluto and Aquarius effect even stronger. Pluto's meanings. Pluto has the same meanings as Scorpio, since both represent the 8th astrological archetype. For starters, Pluto represents death and rebirth. If something is not optimal, Pluto wants to either help you release it completely or help you transform or heal it so it serves your highest good. 2 other major meanings of Pluto are wealth and power. Wealth can be money, but can also be anything that you value, tangible or intangible. As Pluto enters Aquarius, be sure to let the universe know what kind of wealth you want. Power comes in 2 basic flavors, power over and shared power. Power over is like a dictator who wants to keep you under their thumb so they can take advantage of you and exploit you. Shared power was exemplified by people like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Martin Luther King Jr. Shared power is used to serve the greater good. Be clear and conscious about the kind of power you are using. There are karmic consequences. Pluto also rules the occult, which need not be creepy. Occult just means hidden. In astronomy, for example, occultation happens when an object is blocked by another object, passing between it and the observer. Pluto rules lots of things that are not visible or are not obviously apparent to the 5 senses. Astrology is an occult art, for example, along with things like channeling, psychic abilities, and mediumship. The meanings of Aquarius. How can you best use the energy of Aquarius and Uranus? First, accept yourself as the unique, one-of-a-kind human that you are. Don't fight or resent the fact that you function as you do right now, even if some of your ideas and impulses seem weird or strange. Once you no longer resist the simple fact that you are as you are, at least for now, you can work to heal, transform, or release anything that bothers you. But you have to accept it before you can work with it most efficiently. Then, to the appropriate extent, express your uniqueness to the world. Some people can fly their freak flag all the way up the pole all the time, while others are wise to be more selective. It might not serve highest good to show some of your unique qualities to certain people. Would it be good medicine for them? Aquarius also rules intuitive hits. This can be an aha or eureka experience. Some people say they know an intuition in their bones or their gut, or that they get a full body yes. Over the years, I've asked hundreds of clients about intuition. Every single one has told me that things go better when they follow it, while problems arise if they don't. Finally, the highest level of Aquarius is serving others with your special gifts and talents that you most love to use. When you put Pluto and Aquarius together, you get big change now. With Pluto and Aquarius, along with Pluto aspecting Uranus, it's reminiscent of the 1960s. Pluto and Uranus made 3 conjunctions in the mid-60s and were in orb, which means close enough to connect energetically, from 1960 to 1972. This is the biggest astrological reason why this was such a radically transformative decade, not just in the US, but all over the world. We also had a Uranus-Pluto square in the mid-2010s. Do you remember how intense and radical those years were? They included the Occupy movement, the rise of Black Lives Matter and Me Too, Trump's shocking win over Hillary Clinton, Brexit, and major advances in LGBTQ rights. Things always get intense when we join the 8th archetype, represented here by Pluto, and the 11th archetype, represented by Aquarius, as well as those Uranus aspects. Once again, it's time for big change now. How to use Pluto in Aquarius. Some of this big change will be beyond your control, but you have plenty of choice about the big changes you want in your own life. Pluto in Aquarius is the perfect setup to rapidly accelerate your personal journey of transformation and evolution. You cannot control everything in your personal life. Your higher self will make sure you get the experiences you need to have the best chance of fulfilling your life purpose. Some might be wonderful, while some might be challenging. A lot depends on how willingly you get on board with what you incarnated to do as a human being. As I personally face this momentous era, I find one particular insight especially helpful. It's been my experience that doing effective shadow work is the fastest path to spiritual awakening and personal evolution. I explain this as the Great Onion of Consciousness in my #1 best-selling book called Instant Divine Assistance, Your Complete Guide to Fast and Easy Spiritual Awakening, Healing, and More. I believe that my willingness to face my unhealed traumas and heal them using quick and effective methods is the main reason I have never had to endure a dark night of the soul. Pluto rules trauma healing and shadow work, and the lightning quick energy of Aquarius can help you do it faster than you might have thought possible. My free healing invocation has helped thousands, including me, heal their old traumas quickly, easily, and efficiently, and it might work even better with Pluto in Aquarius. What you've heard so far is condensed from the Pluto and Aquarius section of my 2023 astrology forecast video with a smidgen of new material. The material I just presented represents about 10 of the 45 minutes I spend discussing Pluto and Aquarius. Again, this is not just copied over from that video. This is freshly recorded, but based on the same content. The 2 remaining Pluto and Aquarius sections of the video are Pluto and Aquarius in the 1500s and 1700s, that lasts 7 minutes, a historical overview of the major events that occurred the last 2 times Pluto was in Aquarius, and then the other section is Pluto's current transition from Capricorn to Aquarius, what's been happening, and what might happen in that section lasts 29 minutes. Topics include finance, politics, dirty laundry, big physical structures, internet and tech, terrorism and war, equality, racism, climate change, catastrophes, space and rocketry, COVID, child abuse scandals, and wealth distribution. Learn more about Pluto and Aquarius in my 2023 full year forecast video. Click the link in the show notes. All right, so that's Pluto in Aquarius. Next up, Tuesday, March 28th. Can you find opportunity in volatility? This is an excellent strategy with Mars semi-square Uranus. Mars is at 2 Cancer, Uranus is at 17 Taurus. Uranus can be a destabilizing influence, and Mars in Cancer can be prone to overheated emotions. Do your best to keep calm no matter what's going on. You might find my free Embodied Awakening invocation helpful for this, since it puts your perpetually serene higher self in the driver's seat. I know I'm making a lot of references to my invocations for healing and awakening here. Just check the show notes for those links. Unexpected violence is one possibility of this aspect, so do your best to steer clear of dangerous people and situations. However, it also has a major upside potential. It can help you take immediate action, Mars, on your intuitive hits, Uranus. These come directly from your higher self and are the most accurate guidance available. And on Thursday, March 30th, two complementary aspects help balance each other today: a Mars-Saturn trine, Mars 3 Cancer, Saturn 3 Pisces, and a Venus-Uranus conjunction at 17 Taurus. Venus represents creativity, relationships, and finance. If Uranus disrupts any of these areas, it's only to draw your attention to things that need to be released or transformed. Uranus can also pop down intuitive hits to give you clear guidance and encourage innovative approaches. The Mars-Saturn trine can provide extra endurance and can also support fulfilling, stable emotional states. You can also call on its steady, eddy solidity if the Venus-Uranus conjunction throws you for a loop. This episode is sponsored by my #1 best-selling book, Instant Divine Assistance, your complete guide to fast and easy spiritual awakening, healing, and more. Jennifer Kostelic wrote this 5-star Amazon review, and she titled her review, "Really Works." She said, quote, "This book was a great find. I was looking for affirmation ideas, and this came up, and it is wonderful. It is a quick read, and the instructions are easy. I'm sure some could say it's placebo or even a little CBT, and yet I have become much more aware of my emotions and how I am handling life. Saying these affirmations really makes a difference. I can feel very quickly. It's like as many resets as I need throughout the day, with many wonderful insights along the way. What a gift." End quote. The ebook is only $3.99 and is included with Kindle Unlimited. The paperback is only $12.99. Check it out on Amazon. There is a link in the show notes. You can learn fast and easy tools for awakening, healing, and more, gain wisdom from enlightening guests, and enjoy mind-bending ayahuasca stories. It's all on my Awaken, Heal, and Thrive podcast, with a new episode every Tuesday. Recent episode titles include Autopilot Shamanism, Amanda Kate, Divine Messy Human, and Can Free Will and Divine Will Be the Same? Click the link in the show notes or search for Awaken, Heal, and Thrive wherever you get audio or video podcasts. Not only that, Awakening Plus events support your individual healing and awakening, as well as global spiritual awakening. Not a member yet? Join one of our free events. 2 calls are open to the public each month. Experience how Awakening Plus can accelerate your personal evolution. Click the link in the show notes or learn more at awakeningplus.com. That's awakeningplus.com. Thank you for being here. Once again, I'm Benjamin Bernstein with astroshaman.com. I can serve you with astrology readings, shamanic healing, and one-of-a-kind life coaching. All my one-on-one services are equally effective in person or long distance. I do almost all my work long distance these days. I also offer an unbeatable price on SolarFire, the #1 astrology software for Windows. And as I mentioned, I run the Awakening Plus online membership for spiritual support. You can learn about all this and more at astroshaman.com. Please reach out if you have any questions. My email is benjamin@astroshaman.com, and my number for voice and text is 828-338-9852. I would love to connect with you. We're wrapping up. Please leave me a 5-star rating, review, or comment wherever you're getting this episode, so others who also love astrology and spirituality can find it. And be sure to check out my book and new podcast. Thanks again for spending this time with me. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.